Very important. The law says that you cannot pack payments. Not at the sales desk, not in the F&I office. Now, what does that mean? Packing payments is including anything in the payment other than the base item being financed. A car. They're buying a car. They're buying a truck. If you put a service contract included in the payment, you quote them, you have broken the law, and you can be prosecuted for that. And people are being prosecuted for that every day. Federal Trade Commission, Department of Motor Vehicles, different government agencies are prosecuting people for packing payments. And usually, by the way, it's going to be the sales manager or the F&I manager. And the dealership's going to get a fine. Trust me. Disclose the base price. Mr. Customer, the sales manager tells me that you've agreed to buy this particular vehicle for $38,000. This is your down payment that you've agreed to. This is your taxes. You have 60 equal distinct payments after your trade-in. This is we're paying for the trade. You have 60 equal distinct payments of $539.18 at 3.9 APR, beginning on the 31st of January. Is that a good time of the month for your first payment? You have agreed to buy this vehicle at this price, at this interest rate, at this payment for 60 months, and that's a base payment with no products included. Mr. Customer, is that the terms as you understand them? Very important that you get that commitment from the customer. Is that the terms as you understand them? You've agreed to 60 payments of $327.83 at 3.9 APR beginning on the 31st of January. Is that a good time of the month for your first payment? Is that the terms as you understand them? Mr. Customer, let me assure you that nothing will change your ability to buy the car for that amount. I have just fulfilled my total legal obligation on the menu. I informed the customer of the price, the rate, the payment, with no products included. Now, as I've mentioned earlier, the menu is not the main reason they're here. When they walk in your office and you've got the menu in your hand and you start presenting that first, the customer's going to be suspicious. They're going to spend a lot more time doubting the document, and they're not going to pay attention to you. It's just another routine document in the stack. Let's sign an odometer statement. Let's sign a title application. Let's sign a power of attorney. Let's sign something before we get to the menu. Let's sign any of the documents that aren't determined by the contract. I can't get them to sign the service contract. They haven't bought it yet, and that will affect the contract. But any of the items that don't affect the contract, I'm going to get the customer used to signing before we get to the menu itself. Now listen to my word tracking very carefully. This is a great word track. Mr. Customer, this is an odometer form. It says that you did not alter the odometer on the car you're selling us. You don't know of anyone that has. Now, Martha, you didn't get up under the dash with an electronic device and roll back the odometer, did you? No, okay, great. Sign here that you didn't do that. Okay, this document is an odometer statement on the car we're selling you. It basically states that we didn't tamper with the odometer. We believe the mileage to be 100% correct. We don't know of anyone who has. We're certifying to you that we believe this mileage to be certified correct. I signed it, and I need your signature here as the recipient. Now, Mr. Customer, this document, Mrs. Customer, this document is a mandatory disclosure of your financial options as required by the Federal Trade Commission. Did you hear what I just said? This document is a mandatory disclosure of your financial options as required by the Federal Trade Commission. Mandatory. You gotta do this. Mandatory. Am I telling the truth? Are you required to show the customer their financial options if you have shown financial options to any other customer? Yes, you are. It's a mandatory disclosure of your financial options, which would be your service contract, gap, your tire and wheel, whatever else environmental package, whatever you're selling. This is a mandatory disclosure of your financial options as required by the Federal Trade Commission. That is a strong, strong opener on the menu. It's a mandatory disclosure. And the customer goes, oh yeah, Martha, sit up, he's doing some government stuff here. You know, it sounds very official, it gets their attention. Mandatory disclosure of your financial options. Step number 1, disclose the base payment, the price, the base interest rate. If they try to reopen negotiations, I'm open to do that. But remember, you cannot tell the customer you will lower their interest rate if they buy products. Well, if you buy the service contract, we'll lower your interest rate. No. Well, you can't tie products into interest rate. That's against federal regulations. You can't say, well, if you don't buy the service contract, we're going to raise your rate. Your rate will be higher. No, you can't do that either. You've got to tell the customer a base payment at a base interest rate. Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins, I've got this right in the book. Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins, the sales manager has indicated to me that you have discussed the purchase of this car today at price and terms we just discussed. You've agreed to 60 equal payments of $629.53 at a 6.9 interest rate, APR interest rate, beginning on January 1st. Is that a good time of the month for your first payment? Great. Let me assure you, you can purchase the car at that price and payment. Now, you notice I closed on the payment date, never on the payment amount. Mr. Customer, you've agreed to 60 equal distinct payments of $629.53 at 6.9 APR beginning on January 1st. Is that a good time of the month for your first payment? Always end your sentence on the payment date, never focused on the payment amount. Because they may have been battling with the sales manager over the payment. He or she finally got him to agree on a payment, and now you're re-emphasizing it. I'm not happy with that payment. No, is that payment date good for you? That's the last thing I say. Mr. Customer, beginning on January 1st, is that a good time for your first payment? Strong. Now, routine documents. I'm going to disclose the menu to the customer. Objectivity. When you are presenting the menu to the customer, aloof. I am detached. I don't care if you buy these things. I'm okay with whatever you choose to or elect to do. You elect to take the service contract, you elect not to. I'm fine with that. My only job now is disclose your financial options, explain to you the benefits, and sign waivers, releases, and hold harmless agreements on anything that you declined and agreed not to buy that you have agreed to self-insure. The word self-insure is so strong in that word track. Don't fight the no. That's the biggest thing you have to understand in the presentation of the menu. Do not fight the no. It's okay for them. There's customers who are just dying to get the no off their chest. There was a song back in the 60s. Now, I know you don't relate to music in the 60s, but there was a song in the 60s by a group called the Human Beings, and it was called Nobody But Me. And the words, 3/4 of the lyrics of that song was the word no. The vocalist going, no, 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 no. Well, I'm looking at my consumer, and I'm picturing in my mind, they're singing that song. No, 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 no. No, they're singing that song. It just shocks them that you're okay with that. No problem, Mr. Customer. My only job now is sign waivers, releases, and hold harmless agreements on those items that you elected not to buy and you've agreed to self-insure. No problem. Remember, the menu only identifies low-hanging fruit. There are people that buy a service contract. If you would just shut the hell up. Don't spend any amount of time selling the service contract in that event. They're not listening to you. They're singing that song. To me, no means no, not at this time. Tell me more. No reaction, no disappointment. Totally detached.